The first sign something was wrong should have been the lipstick, coral pink, smeared on his collar. But I was too busy being the perfect wife, running my design firm and pretending everything was fine. That's what we do, right? We see the signs, but choose to look away. I'm Michelle, and until last Tuesday, I thought I had it all. The dream house I'd designed myself, a thriving interior design business, and David, my husband of 8 years. The kind of man who remembered anniversaries and brought me coffee in bed. At least, that's who I thought he was. "You're working late again?" I asked that morning, watching him adjust his tie in our bedroom mirror. "Big client presentation," he said, not meeting my eyes. "Don't wait up." I nodded, swallowing the question about why his presentations always seemed to coincide with my best friend Cassandra's family dinners, the ones her younger sister Clara always attended. The envelope arrived that afternoon. Manila, no return address. Inside was a single photograph. David and Clara outside the Marriott downtown, his hand on her waist, her head thrown back in laughter. The timestamp, 2:14 p.m. yesterday, during his supposed lunch meeting. My hands shook as I called him, straight to voicemail. I texted Cassandra, "Need to talk, emergency." Her response came instantly. "Clara's with me, everything okay?" That's when it hit me. Clara. The sister who always asked about my marriage, who touched David's arm when she laughed, who looked at me with something I'd mistaken for admiration but now recognized as calculation. I grabbed my keys. The confrontation could happen now, or I could keep pretending. But I was done pretending. "On my way," I texted back. "Don't let Clara leave." "You're handling this surprisingly well," Scarlett said, stirring her martini. We sat in a dimly lit corner of O'Malley's, far from our usual haunts. "Almost too well," I smiled, the same plastic smile I'd worn all week at family dinners, pretending everything was fine. "What choice do I have? Clara made it clear. One word about the affair, and she releases proof I forged that Anderson proposal years ago. That proposal saved your business." Scarlett leaned forward. "And nobody got hurt. She's really going to destroy you over that. She already has the files." Someone helped her access my old laptop. I took a long sip of wine. "But here's what she doesn't know. I'm done being the victim." My phone buzzed. Another group text from Cassandra about Clara's engagement party. The happy couple wanted a small celebration, just family and close friends. "You're not seriously going?" Scarlett asked, reading over my shoulder. "Of course I am." I showed her the response I'd just typed. "Wouldn't miss it." "Need help planning?" "Michelle, trust me." I pulled out my tablet, opening a folder labelled Wedding Ideas. Inside were screenshots of Clara's social media, bank statements David thought he'd hidden, and hotel receipts. While they're playing house, I'm building a case. Clara thinks she's won because I'm playing nice, but you know what they say about keeping enemies closer. My phone buzzed again. "David, working late, don't wait up." I texted back. "Miss you." "Bring breakfast tomorrow?" "You're scary when you're strategic," Scarlett whispered. "I learned from the best," I replied, thinking of Clara. "She wanted to play games. Game on." "I want to be your maid of honour," I announced at Clara's engagement brunch, watching shock ripple across the table. David choked on his mimosa. Clara recovered first, her perfectly lined lips curving into a smile. "Really? I thought—" "Given everything." "Water under the bridge." I reached across to squeeze her hand. "We're family." Cassandra shot me a look I couldn't quite read. She'd been distant lately, cancelling our weekly coffee dates. Part of me wanted to tell her everything, but Clara's threat hung heavy in the air. Later that afternoon I met Derek, Cassandra's ex, at a coffee shop across town. He DJ'd at Clara's engagement party, and something in his expression when he watched her told me he had secrets of his own. "She did the same thing to me," he said, voice low. "3 years ago. I caught her with my best friend, but she had dirt on my sister, made me keep quiet. And Cassandra never knew. Clara's good at playing victim." He slid a USB drive across the table. I kept records, texts, emails, never had the courage to use them. My phone buzzed. "Clara. Dress shopping tomorrow, just us girls." "She's testing you," Derek warned, "seeing if you'll crack." "Let her test." I pocketed the drive. "I need a favour, the wedding reception. I want to make a special video tribute." "You're going to expose her?" "Better." I showed him my plan. "I'm going to let her expose herself." His eyes widened. "That's brilliant and terrible." "Sometimes they're the same thing," I said, thinking of the diamond bracelet I'd found in David's drawer. The one Clara now wore like a trophy. "Mom!" I nearly dropped my wine glass. Athena stood on my doorstep, looking exactly as she had 5 years ago when she'd walked out of my life. "What are you doing here?" "Cassandra called me." She stepped inside without waiting for an invitation. "Said you might need someone to talk to." "I'm fine." I moved to the kitchen, busying myself with dishes. "Everything's perfect. I'm helping plan my husband's mistress's wedding." "Just another Tuesday. Michelle." Her voice carried that familiar mix of steel and sympathy. "What are you really doing?" Before I could answer, my phone chimed. "Clara, can we talk? Just us. Perfect timing." I'd planted the bait yesterday, telling Scarlett loudly at the dress fitting how I'd forgiven everything and just wanted Clara to be happy. "I have to go," I told my mother. "Clara wants to meet." To confess or to threaten? To gloat? I grabbed my keys. But she'll do both." The cafe was quiet. Clara sat in a corner booth, fidgeting with her engagement ring, the one Bryant had spent months saving for, while she was spending nights with my husband. "I recorded everything," I texted Derek before walking in. "Stand by." Clara's eyes were wet when I sat down, right on cue. "I need to tell you something," she started. "About David. About us." I pressed record on my phone, hidden in my purse. "You can tell me anything." For the next hour, I listened, nodded, even cried with her as she spun her tale of forbidden love and regret. Every word a confession, every tear a performance. "I feel so much better," she said finally, "getting this off my chest." "Me too," I smiled, stopping the recording. "Me too." Left, right, pause. Perfect. I directed the wedding rehearsal with clipboard in hand. "Clara, honey, you're rushing." "This is your moment," she beamed at me, adjusting her diamond bracelet. David's bracelet. Next to her, Bryant looked adoringly at his bride-to-be. My stomach turned. "Michelle," Cassandra caught my arm pass during the break. "That bracelet Clara's wearing. Beautiful, isn't it?" I kept my voice light. "David has excellent taste." Her face paled. "How did you—" "No, I found the receipt in his office. Anniversary gift, just not for me." I squeezed her hand. "Don't worry. Everything will come out exactly as it should." Across the room, Clara was showing off her ring to the bridesmaids. "Michelle's been such a blessing," she gushed. "Planning everything, making sure it's perfect." "That's what family's for," I called out, making her jump. "Speaking of which, Derek needs the final song list for your video tribute." "Video?" Bryant looked confused. "You didn't mention—" "Oh, it's a surprise," I rushed to explain. "Just a little montage of Clara's journey. Photos, memories, special moments." Clara's smile flickered. That's so thoughtful." Later, reviewing the footage with Derek, I watched Clara's confession play out. Her tears, her justifications, her casual mention of how she'd orchestrated everything from the start, including sending those photos to me. This will destroy her, Derek warned. No, I corrected, splicing the audio perfectly between clips of her engagement photos. She destroyed herself. I'm just pressing play. My phone lit up. David. Working late. I texted back. Of course you are. 2 more days. Just 2 more days. You look beautiful, I told Clara, adjusting her veil in the church dressing room. My hands didn't shake. Not anymore. Michelle. She grabbed my wrist. I need to ask you something. Are you really okay? With everything? Does it matter now? I met her eyes in the mirror. You won, Clara. You got everything you wanted. Not everything. David appeared in the doorway. Can we talk? Privately? Clara slipped out, leaving us alone. The irony wasn't lost on me. Don't do this, he whispered. Whatever you're planning... planning... I smoothed my maid of honour dress. I'm just here to celebrate love. Isn't that what you told me last week? That sometimes love just happens? Michelle, please, for old time's sake. Old times, I laughed softly, like our anniversary. When you bought her that bracelet instead of fixing our marriage. The wedding march began playing. David's face went pale. That's your cue to take your seat, I said. Front row, right? Perfect view. The ceremony was beautiful. Clara glowed. Bryant beamed. I stood beside them, clutching my bouquet, watching Cassandra's face as she finally noticed how Clara's bracelet matched the empty box she'd found in David's study. At the reception, Derek caught my eye from the DJ booth.
The video equipment was ready. My phone buzzed one last time. Clara. Thank you for keeping our secret. You're a true friend. I deleted the message and picked up the microphone. The room fell silent. I'd like to propose a toast, I began, my voice steady. To new beginnings, to truth, and to karma. Clara's smile froze as the lights dimmed and the screens flickered to life. Clara has always been like a sister to me, I continued, my voice echoing through the reception hall. She taught me so much about love, trust, and honesty. The first photos appeared, innocent enough. Clara and Bryant's engagement, family gatherings. Then came the hotel receipts, David's credit card statements, the bracelet purchase. Clara lunged for the microphone. I can explain. Of course you can. I handed it to her. The floor is yours. She grabbed it, tears streaming. What happened with David was a mistake. One moment of weakness that turned into... The speakers crackled. Clara's recorded voice filled the room. I sent those photos myself, watching Michelle's face when she found out. God, it was perfect. David was so easy to manipulate. All those lies about Michelle being cold, distant. Bryant stood up, his chair scraping across the floor. What photos? The recording continued, Clara's confession playing in surround sound. Every detail, every calculated move, every lie. Turn it off, David shouted, but Derek just turned it louder. Cassandra walked to the head table, slowly removing her bracelet. She dropped it in Clara's champagne glass. You ruined everything, she whispered. For what? Jealousy. The room erupted in chaos. Bryant stormed out. David tried to follow Clara, but she shoved him away. You promised, she screamed at me. You promised to keep quiet. No, I corrected her, my voice carrying over the commotion. I promised to let you tell your truth, and you just did. Cassandra grabbed my arm. Did you invite us all here just to destroy my sister? I met her eyes. We both needed to see who Clara really was. The wedding cake sat untouched as the room emptied, white frosting perfect and pristine, just like Clara's lies.